Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Presentation Theater. My name is Larry Thaler, and I'm the CEO of the Video Call Center. And we are going to spend today looking at some of the pressures that are affecting the broadcast industry and look at potential solutions to help us with those pressures. So thank you for being here, and look forward to our conversation. So I'd like to start with some charts about the industry, just as an overview about where we are and kind of looking ahead. And so if we look at the audience size and advertising, we'll notice that over the past year or so, we've started to have a little decline in advertising in the industry. And this affects us all in a lot of different ways. And the truth of the matter is that if we don't address this, we're going to be in there's going to be serious issues. So this is the blue line here, represents where we are today. And you can, if you take the same trend going forward, it's a little bit troubling. So our next slide takes that and says, where did the audience actually go? What's going on? And it's very clear that time spent on iPads and phones is growing while TV viewing time is going down. And you can look at this chart as the red and the black are total aggregate time per day for adults on their pads and their mobile devices. And you can see that it's doubled in the past couple of years. Whereas the blue and the dark blue, which is television viewing and DVR, has gone down. And it's going down at a compound rate of 1.6%. So there's no doubt that traditional TV is being affected by the viewers who are watching or engaging on their mobile phones. And so the question is, what do we do about it? But this problem needs to be looked at one more time in a different way first before we understand the problem fully. And that is, if we look at it demographically, and this is weekly by hours of usage, the bar on the left is the same as the previous page. There's a significant amount of television watching time, and there's a significant but growing amount of time on the cell phones. Break it down by demographics, and our 55 and over crowd is really doing what they always have. They're watching on television, they're engaging on the DVR, but if we look at the 18 to 34 crowd, their time on their phones is actually significantly greater than it is on television. And that is a problem because that's the future of our industry. So the question is, what can we do about it? And there is hope for us because there are things like appointment entertainment like HQ. So if any of you are not familiar with HQ, HQ is a trivia game that happens 7 days a week, 5 days a week at 3 o'clock and 7 days a week at 9 o'clock. And I don't know about you, but I lose my team at 3 o'clock because they're all going off to play HQ. So there is a model that says that millennials and 18 to 35 want to be entertained, but they want to do it in a way that they're engaging with it. So really the question is, how does this model speak for us, and what can we do to get those folks who are on their devices in the red zone here getting into the blue zone on television? How do we take people from their mobile devices and get them to be TV viewers in an engaged way? They want content that speaks to them, they want content that they can interact with, and they want to make sure that when they're doing this, that their time is being used well. They don't want to just be broadcast to. And so that's the lesson for the industry. So then the question is, why am I up here talking about this as the VCC? Well, we think that this device is not only a good device for consumption of content, but we think that the mobile phone is the best device ever created for the contribution of content as well. And I'm going to take you through a couple of methods that we use in order to have these people come in and engage with their show. So what we'll do is we'll take people from wherever they are, on whatever devices they have, using software already on those devices, wrap it with things to make it more reliable, and then provide the production tools you need in order to make full shows out of content coming from millennials on their smartphones. It's a great new way to create content, and there's two things about it that make it really special. The first is that it's engaging. So we're bringing people into the content they want, their opinions matter, and therefore they care about it. And the second is that it's highly producible in a way that's cost effective. So it's content that you can create for a lot less money than those $400,000 per episode shows that may be airing on your networks now, and that engages the audience at the same time. So we'll tell you a little bit more about it. The first step in doing this is to make it easy for people to participate. And so the question is, if you're watching something on a Facebook Live feed, or you're watching something on a website, or you're watching something on air, you want to be able to engage with it very simply. So in this case, all you have to do is click on a link in the Facebook Live feed, or click on an embedded button in a web page, or if you're on the air and broadcast, in this case, call Love 91, which is a show we did for Fox, to participate in the show. So we make it very easy. Once you do that one click, you are now going to a virtual waiting room, a green room in the cloud, to participate in the show, and you'll be talking to the producers and communicating with them as you watch the show along the way, and then eventually participate with it. So that participant aggregation, we're bringing in the viewers to be participants in the show, can be done with any app already on the device. And what's neat is there's nothing to download. FaceTime runs on every iOS device. WebRTC runs on most Android devices, and so we can bring those in. We can also use Skype, and we do it in a way that gives you much better quality than you've perhaps seen ever before. Right? The callers can be from anywhere. They can be in other countries. They can be on other time zones. We've brought in people from 5 continents in on the same show, and we aggregate them together. So what's really great about that is that there's no cost for these remotes. People are volunteering their time to be on your show, and you've had interesting viewers who are now interesting participants. And of course, this is all going through a human producer in order to ensure that these people are people we want to have on the show. But there's something even better about this, because when they're sitting waiting to be on your show, to talk to your stars or your celebrities, or to talk about the topic that interests them, they're also encouraged to do social amplification, to be on Twitter, to be on Facebook, to say, I'm about to be on the air with my hero, and come watch me. So now all of a sudden, the viewers who are viewers of your show are becoming participants in the show, but they're also becoming promoters of the show. And the key here is you can grow an audience simply by asking that audience to participate on the show. So this is perfect for all sorts of things, and we're going to see this in a minute. So the next step, as I said, this is less expensive content than you've seen before, and that is because once you've aggregated these callers together, we can build shows either with a natural control room, as seen in the bottom right of the picture, or if you go to the top right, we can do an entire show controlled by the host from wherever that host happens to be. And what's really kind of neat about this is that the host has controls that are automation, lets him decide who in the queue he'd like to speak to, which of the callers that have been cleared by the human producers are people that he wants to be interacting with, that are be interesting for the show. He can mix and match those together, and the automation takes over. The host doesn't have to think about tech, he only thinks about content, and bringing those callers in together, aggregating them together, and to creating a meaningful show for them and for the other people who are watching, right? But because of that, we can create a show with just 3 people: a call producer, a line producer, and the host. No technologists, no big control room full of technology, and no big control room full of people. Lower thirds, videos, graphics, audio mixes, it's all there built into the automation system. So extremely low cost, high value content that's socially engaging. And I want to give you some examples of some of the things we've done. So in the sports category, we are working with Fox Sports Networks on doing some work. We just had Kirk Gibson, who was on the air on opening day from LA into the trucks in Detroit for the pregame show. And because he was able to see a return video on his camera, he was able to interact with the hosts and talk about and joke about what they were wearing. He was able to talk over a B-roll, things that we have never been able to do remotely before. We're also doing a show for Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball is a multi-year agreement that we have with them. and we are doing a show with them that engages fans and has them talk to the celebrities, the players, the managers of the teams, and to bring those fans closer to the game. For TLC in entertainment, we did something called 90 Day Fiancé, where the American fiancés were engaged to people overseas and needed to be with them on the set, but the overseas fiancés didn't have a green card or a way to to come into the country legally. So we brought them in through our technology for hours and hours and hours at a time to ensure that they had a really good connection and that the best parts of the relationship, and I mean the juiciest parts of the relationships, would come out. For this particular show, we had people coming in from the Philippines, from Barcelona, Spain, from Haiti, from Eastern Europe, and from US, all on the same show, and all with no additional cost for those remotes, some of which went for as long as 4 hours. One of my favorites is the show below that, which we did for Discovery. 4,000 people a week called in to talk to the Kilchers for Alaska, Alaska the Last Frontier, and they wanted to join the show to talk to the Kilchers about what it's like to live in Alaska. This was just a 3-minute show. We can only get a couple of them on, but we had quite a lot of people who want to participate in it, and it was really great. We do news and politics, both shows for Tegna and Daily Blast Live, where we're bringing in remotes daily for them. We act as a remote sub-control for them. And as well as news shows such as You Make the Call, a post-election show with 20 live remotes, no camera crews, no trucks, and no control room. First to have a live show like that. We also do music shows. So can you imagine having a music artist have their fans come and talk to them about their music? My favorite episode was one where a guy named Phrase came in from Italy, and he shared some of his music. The fans came on, asked him about his lyrics, asked about how he got his inspiration, and then he said to them, you know guys, I'm enjoying this so much, I've been writing a song and I haven't shared it with anybody yet. Can I share it with you and get your feedback? And so ultimately, he did that, and he played a song for the first time on the air, and people went absolutely crazy for it. It was really neat. We do celebrity gossip shows. We've done game shows. So effectively, by taking callers from their devices, wherever they are, mating them with technology and automation to make those calls reliable, give you production control of those controls, we can create content that is fun, engaging, socially amplified, and perhaps costs less than the content you're creating now. So the answer to the question is there a way to convert the phone users to be online viewers or linear viewers? And the answer is absolutely yes. Audience engagement, repeat viewers from this, appointment viewing, social amplification, and build an audience. So we'd love to have your questions or potentially have you come visit us at our booth. We're just down the row here at upper level 10008 here in the Connected Media space. So thank you very much, everybody.